Okay, so if you can hear me very well, you can hear me very well. Can you just on the comment section indicate? Let's be sure that you can hear me very well on the comment section. I like to see your comments. Thank you for joining this conversation. Thank you. It's good for us to have you here. Thank you, everyone. So please, on your comment section, we'd like you to just drop information there. Let's be sure you're with us. I'll see everything at my back end there. Okay. So it's good to have you. Thank you, Praise, for joining this conversation. Thank you, Praise. Shola, so I'd like you to say hello to the people joining this conversation before we start fully. Let me be sure of your sound.
Okay. No.
Mr. Shola, can you hear me?
Hello.
Say something
Hello,
to
ladies
everyone.
and gentlemen. You're welcome. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to this day's broadcast, and it's such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us yesterday. We had an amazing time with Frank Donga and Kenny Black, and it was so enlightening. I learned a lot, and I wrote 4 pages of great ideas. And we can't wait to learn from the amazing Shaya Kainde today. He's been in the industry for more than 15 years. There's so much we can learn from people that have been successful, from their failures, from their successes, from how they are overcoming challenges, even through this pandemic time. So this is why this platform is created. Mr. Sampson.
So thank you, Akimbo Ade. Thank you for joining this conversation. Praise, thank you for joining this conversation. I can see you. So for as many that drop information, wants to drop comment, and I can see your comments, definitely I am going to put it on the screen. If I can see your comment and it's good enough for me, I'll put it on the screen. Now, don't forget also that it is very important that you send in your questions on the comment section. Send in your questions on the comment section. We will pick the question, and then our guest will be willing to answer any question you try to ask. I'll just bring it up here. Charles, thank you for joining this conversation. It's good to have you. Now, all you have to do is to share this link to tell people that we're getting into this conversation proper so that you don't miss out anything. My name is Olatunde Sampson. I'm privileged to coordinate with my dear friend Shani Masha. It's called Digital Conversation. And then what are we trying to do? We're trying to bring in experts, professionals who have been in the industry for years. They've got practical proof. They're professionals in the field. And then we felt it would be nice for us to learn and connect with their wealth of knowledge, education, and experience in the industry. We have no other person than one of the respected personalities in this country and Africa and in the world. So in case you don't know him, probably you're just coming to life. Maybe you're just a baby, maybe less than 2-3 years. But if you're a teenager and you're above that age, definitely you know who we have today to share with us. I have no other person than my dear uncle. I call him Uncle Sher. His name is Sher Kehinde. He's a founder of City People Magazine, Nigeria's leading society magazine. Prior to this, he was one of those who in 1992 helped revive African Concord, after which he decided to team up with 5 other professionals in 1993 to set up the news apart from City People Weekly, which currently circulates 30,000 copies nationwide. 3 other products has emerged from the stable of this great organization called City People Group. And then we now have City People Event, we have City People Event and Party, we have City People Fashion and Lifestyle, and then we have Total Fashion. And a specific event periodically is done by City People. I'm sure that you're aware of what we call City People awards that has empowered and celebrated a lot of talent in our country. It's over 20 years, 2 decades that Mr. Sheye Kehinde has been in this business and experienced in the field of journalism. And 20 years is not a joke. 20 years of consistency, 20 years of sustainability, 20 years of profitability. This is a man who has understood perfectly how content can be used effectively to tell a story how he has able over time to monetize money from content. And because this is a future of content currency, which is our main topic, we felt it would be nice for us to bring him on board. I want to say a big thank you, Mr. Seye Kehinde. Uncle, thank you for giving us this access to be on our platform. So
thank you.
Can we just welcome on this platform Mr. Seye Kehinde, the publisher of City People
Drum
Magazine.
roll.
Guys, I'd like to see you online. Just say something on the comment and we'll pick you. Okay. Sir, I think it would be nice for you to introduce yourself.
The way we have not introduced you.
The way we have not introduced you. Okay.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank you for bringing me on board to talk about content and which is the currency, like we said, that I mean everyone is looking at right now. I'm very happy to be here, and it's also very interesting that one has to share one's experience with the larger public in terms of what we've been able to do. You are right, City People has been around for a while. We will be 25 next year, and we're looking forward to celebrating that. And
wow,
I mean, it's been very. Of course, we've gone through all the challenges of publishing, the ups and downs of publishing, but we just believe that, like you rightly explained, if you have the right content, you are likely to survive some of these challenges and hurdles that will definitely come your way when you run a business. Content is key. As long as you serve people the kind of content they want, I mean, your product will continue to be relevant, and it's not for you to look at how best you can sustain that brand over a period of time. So in our own case, of course, a lot has come as a challenge to us. Even the transition from print to online is also a major one for us. I mean, of course, we do print, but right now, the online has like taken over the journalism world. Everybody is now, I mean, online. Everybody is looking at the online real time, and we also have to respond to that without necessarily losing the edge that we have with the print. So we've had to play in the two platforms. We are still doing our print edition, and at the same time, we're trying to be strong online. And of course, all of this, like you rightly explained, would have to be done through content. It's what you offer your readers, what you offer your viewers that will sustain your activity in all the platforms that you play in. So I don't know if that has that gives us like a background to what we try to do.
Fantastic, sir. It does. And immediately you mentioned 25 years. I just imagine removing 25 years from my age. Okay, sir. So the first question I will ask you is this. What is the original idea behind City People? What was your own original idea, concept behind City People? And City People are words before it became something bigger. You know, while you are removed 25 years from your age, sir, I'm sure that you can still be lifting blocks like this. But right now, you know, those age makes you wiser. So what is the original idea behind City People? What were the challenges you had when you were putting your own contents together? Then what is the original idea behind City People Awards?
Okay. The original idea for City People is a very simple concept. Mirror the lifestyle of society. What we try to do is we turn ourselves into a mirror that will mirror the lifestyle of the celebrities in the society. So we look at fashion, we look at business, we look at politics, we look at entertainment, we look at all the facets of society, and we mirror the good, the bad, and the ugly. That was simply the whole concept. But as we went on, people now started saying, "Oh, why? I mean, why do we do that alone? Alone. Why don't we also celebrate people? Why don't we look at people in the society who are doing well, who are doing exceptionally well, and then celebrate them bring them out as a reference point to other people, so people can actually see and learn from some of this. So that was how the whole concept of City People Awards started the year after. City People actually started November 1996. Of course, the awards came a year after, which is 1997. And from that point, we started celebrating people year in, year out. And up till now, we still hold the annual City People Award, where we celebrate people who are doing well in their various sphere of influence. And in terms of content, all we just try to do is to mirror the lifestyles of people. We capture trends in fashion, trends in business, trends in entertainment, what music is playing, which artist is reigning, and things like that. So it's so easy for us in terms of content, because we can actually pick content from any of these areas and then put it together. And of course, we look at various areas where people are playing, and then look at the people who are playing in that area. And that was why even the name itself, City People, came from that concept in terms of people of the city, what they're doing and what is making them tick.
Great.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for these questions. And then that brings me to another question of the fact that what are some rudiments of writing a creative and a capturing content? Because your content, every time I have privilege to open your newspaper, I realize that, or magazine, I realize that the uniqueness of your title and then even the storyline is amazing. So what are the rudiments when it comes to writing a creative and a compelling content?
Okay, thank you very much for observing that. Of course, like I say, we tell stories every week, we tell stories all the time, but we must tell the story in such a way that it will be enticing and it will make people want to read and buy. Because of course, you're also getting people to pay for the edition. They're going to buy the magazine. They're going to buy the edition they want to buy and all of that. And one of the things we use the concept of listing. We always list people. I mean, for example, you talk about 30 big boys who are doing something somewhere, 30 celebrities who are doing. People always want to know. People like to have information about other people, and they want to know what's going on here, what's going on there. So rather than write on individuals alone, we always bring them together, look at sectors, look at industries, look at people who are doing great things in music, in the movies, in business, politics, and also we always make sure that we write in such a way that it will excite people, it will invite people to want to read, from the headline to the introduction, the intro, what we call the intro, to make people get hooked to what they are reading. So before they know what's happening, they finish reading, and everything has to be in very racy and breezy style, so it will be readable and it will be exciting to many people who want to read.
Thank you very much,
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
So I think also in your industry, there's a lot of competitions going on.
Huge.
You know, you are in an industry where you have lots of competitors. So what has allowed City People, or what strategy have you used to make City People be ahead? Because in terms of, I mean, there's no way we can talk about the fashion industry, entertainment industry without mentioning City People, just the way we are going to mention Ovation magazine and all of that. What has made your brand over 20 years consistently unique in the midst of all of these competitions?
Well, let me first of all say that it's the grace of God. I mean, it's not something that I can say I have a formula, but I think beyond that, we also try to monitor what people want to read. That's also very important. If you're serving people a product, you have to make sure that that product is relevant to their needs. And there's a strategy that I mean, it's not exclusive to me, but it's an industry strategy, which is you make sure that you provide information that people can use to better their lives in that package. So if I know that if I buy CD people every week, I'll get to know what's going on in fashion, what's going on in other sectors and all of that. I would want to buy it. And of course, we also try to investigate what excites people. So when we know what excites people, what people want to read, we'll give it to them, and it will be easy for them to willingly, without compelling them, to continue to buy your edition every week, week in, week out, and all of that. So it's basically the content. Content is key, like you said. I like that phrase is key. It's content that will make you dip your hands. Because I mean, every week, one of the things I think about is what are you going to put in a package that will make somebody to dip his or her hands into the pocket and pay to buy that product. It simply means that that product is what's the word now? Is playing a role. Is meeting up with the expectations of the reader. So you must make sure that you tailor your product in such a way that the reader would always want to keep buying every week, especially if you put in place the stories that he or she would like to read about. And of course, basically everybody wants to read about celebrities. So what we do every week is to look at, okay, what is trending right now? What is happening? For example, in the last few days, Big Brother Nigeria has just gotten back and everybody is keyed to it. So basically, you know that you need to give a bit of story, a bit of behind the scenes stories about
controversies that is happening in the house and all of that.
Yeah, controversies that's happening and all of that. And so that way you'll get to be relevant, you get to be fresh, you get to meet up with people's expectations. So you can't be serving them a diet that they don't want. So you must be able to identify what people want and you give it to them. I think it's a very straightforward strategy, which is to serve people what they want to read, and then you take it from there.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, sir. The new normal. The new normal now is that most people are not working from their offices. You know, as Nigerians, as human beings, we want to get up at home from home every morning, dress up, go to work, leave work, come back, and all of that. But then, how has the new normal, the lockdown during the pandemic, how has it affected your business, sir? Because most people don't go out like they used to before to get newspaper, and this is not like the abroad where people come to your house and drop papers like we used to see in the movies. So how has the new normal affected your business, and how have you navigated those challenges to come above it?
Well, it's a mixed bag. I would say that it affected us negatively, and at the same time it affected us positively. Negatively in the sense that we could no longer come out with city people print for at least about 3 months, because the week that the lockdown started, we came out, but of course following day there was no movement, so it affected our sales. So we decided that rather than keep producing and not getting people to buy, because people are not leaving their homes and all that, why don't we step up our game and then become strong online? So what we've done is to strengthen our online platform. So we do a lot more online, which is part of the new normal. And at the same time, we do a lot of live chats. In fact, it's a daily live chat that we do, talking to people, getting to know how they are coping. Just like you're asking me now, I've also been asking people in different sectors and different industries, how are you doing it? How are you coping? For musicians, how are you coping without parties for 3 months? How did you cope? And all of that. So we've of course, a lot of our staff also work from home now. Many of them connect, to us via the various platforms and all that, and we get a feedback from them all the time. So it has really helped. It helped in the sense that it has made us concentrate a lot more on our IT platforms, and to make sure that at least people can reach us more online than in print. And of course, what we've also done is to reduce um, the number of copies that we do in print. Even though we started coming out again, and we've been coming out religiously, but we have to reduce the number in such a way that it will will not be able to sustain too much losses in terms of because really like um, Shola said, people are still not back to, I mean, going out and all of that. The travel, I mean, you still find a lot of people still prefer to read via all the
Yeah.
platforms. So what we're trying to do is to strengthen our presence online, strengthen our performance online, and then see how, and of course, complement the print edition with the online edition. Because actually, both, because if, for example, on Monday now, we're going to come out with an edition. Most of the things we'll be coming out with in that edition, we're going to do the promo online. People will get to know, so they can actually go out and ask for the edition. But before now, that wasn't the case. So the new normal now is for you to make the print edition also work with the online edition, and both will work together.
Okay, so if you're just joining this conversation, I'd like to say a big thank you for finding out time to join and come learn from professionals who have been in the industry of content creation for over 20 years. I've got here Mr. Sheye Kehinde, is the publisher of City People magazine and also the person behind City People's Award. Most of the time, we read the product of great people, but really it's difficult for you to have them in meetings like this. But I want to say a big thank you to Mr. Sheye Kehinde for honoring
Thank
our
you.
invitation to come share part of what we need to know in terms of content. How do you create content? How do you monetize content? What can content do for you? What are the strategies that have sustained City People for over 20 years? I mean, 20 years stronger, 25 years celebration is what Mr. Again just told us that they're about doing. 25 years is not a joke. We've had companies that started powerfully, but I mean, it's just story as of today. But today we still have City People doing great work. Their papers are still out there. I mean, everything is intact. I want to say kudos to you, sir, and your entire
Thank
team
you.
at City People. So for the
Thank you
person
very much.
asking who is Sheye Kehinde, maybe you go on Google, type in Sheye Kehinde, is on Wikipedia. If a Wikipedia picks someone like him, you know what that means. That means he's an authority in his field and he has done a lot in the content creation industry in our country, especially in the entertainment industry. So I was just having this conversation, relaxing for him to teach and to explain some certain truths to us. I believe that Shola has one or two questions to throw as our guest.
Oh yes, a point of correction, please. Let's stop saying Mr. Sheye Kehinde. It's Dr.
He's a
Sheye
doctor.
Kehinde. It's not.
Apologies,
It's
sir.
not
It's not.
easy.
No problem. No problem.
Sincere apologies, sir. Sincere apologies.
Thank you.
Quickly, sir, what are the lessons that failure has taught you? When you mentioned 1996, that was when I left secondary school. That was when I left secondary school. So, what major lessons has failure taught you? Then, were there times that you thought, come on, let me pack this up, it's not paying me? What major lessons, what 3, 5 lessons has failure taught you that when you look back, when you wanted to give up, that when you share with youngsters now, it could help them not to give up, sir?
Well, thank you very much. Like most entrepreneurs, at the early stages, you're going to be having the feeling of, oh, why can't I pack this up? Why don't I go and do something else? Why did I even dabble into it and all that? It happened. I went through that motion when I first started and all that. More so, I was part of another group. I was part of the news and tempo media group. And I mean, I just decided that I wanted to do this differently. I mean, a lot of people were surprised when I took that decision that, oh, I wanted to do what people used to call soft sell and all of that. But I've always believed that journalism is about people. Journalism is about mirroring the lifestyle of society. So to that extent, it's a people thing, and that was what made me go into it. But of course, I went into it. I didn't have enough resources. I didn't have enough money to sustain going through, and it was a bit rough. It was at some different times. I've had to face different challenges, but of course, I knew I had at the back of my mind that failure is not an option. Going back is not an option. Saying I'm not doing again is just totally out of it. I just have to soldier on and all of that. And of course, I don't know where I got the confidence from and all that, or the energy and the resilience and all that. But I just believe that I just cannot stop. And I had no fallback position, because I know that if I don't do it right, I can't say, okay, I'm going back to something else. It's like a case of somebody who got into this wanted to swim and all that, and you get in and you realize that, oh, I mean, it's a bit challenging, it's a bit rough, but you just have to, going back is not even an option at all. So that means that you have to weather the storm. You have to make sure that you bring all your faculties to play. You have to think, you have to be creative, you have to come up with. In the last 25 years, I would say that I've always been very, very, very creative. Very, very. I try as much as possible not to give up at all. I mean, even when there are no stories, you have to create stories. When there are no stories, you have to create stories. You have to keep looking for stories. You have to tap into every opportunity you have. People that you have to talk to them. You have to ask them. Life of an entrepreneur is such that you have to constantly be on the move. You have to constantly touch base with people who can help you. So failure is not an option. Anybody who is going into business, who is an entrepreneur, you must first of all start from that basis that failure is not part of it. You cannot say you're not doing it again. You cannot. I mean, when I started off, it dawned on me when a few months after I took off, I just realized that I had to pay salaries. I just realized that I had a team in place, and whether you like it or not, the days started going by. Before you know what's happening, a month, we got in the second month, and I knew that I had to pay salaries and all of that. So it was then I knew that, hey, I'm carrying the responsibility, which didn't dawn on me at the early stages. Now we have to run the business. You have to power the operations of the business. You have to pay staff salary. You have operations and so many things. And of course, I knew that there was I couldn't go back to my comfort zone and say that, oh, I need to rest. I just went full throttle, and thank God I attracted people who came and supported and said, okay, fine, in terms of ideas, in terms of support, and okay, why don't you do it this way? Why don't you do it that way? And eventually one scales through the initial hurdles and challenges.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for that insight. So I feel that I need to quickly make people understand that the edition of day one is totally different from day two. Now, if you observe, if you're with us day one, we needed to bring two comedians who are professionals in the entertainment industry, and we knew that it was going to be more or less like we are gisting, but at the same time we are learning. Now, we decided the second day that we're going to have core professionals who have been in the industry for over 20 years. So aside from Dr. Sheikh, we have our dear brother and uncle, Ayo Animashan, is going to be joining this conversation any moment from now. But we needed everyone in here in this conversation, wherever you are, to understand that this is the best time you can ask questions. This is the best time you can say a big thank you to all of our guests who have done amazing stuff in Nigeria. 25 years that this company is going to become very soon, and 20 years of Mr. Sheikh rolling out a lot of content out there with different product line. It's huge for you to even sustain your business up to 20 years in Nigeria. And I want to say a big thank you for Dr. for being consistent, giving us different dimensions, and not just that, but recognizing some set of people who have gone through a lot in terms of in different aspects of life. I mean, you have award categories for different people in different industry. I want to say a big thank you for that initiative that you have brought to this market space. So I think it would be nice for us to look at how do you become an exceptional storyteller, because a lot of stories that you tell, but many people are finding it difficult to tell stories. So how do you become an exceptional storyteller? That's a question from someone.
Okay, I think the answer to that is simple. It's because I went for training. After I went into journalism, I had to go for training. I went to NIJ, Atogba. I went to Daily Times journalism school, where I actually learned how to write stories, how to present stories in such a way that people will want to read. I started by doing basic writing courses. That the story must have an intro, must have a body, must have a conclusion. I started as if I was just a rookie, and of course it helped, because it is, like you said, it is very, very, very important to be able to tell a story. That is the way you can get people attracted to what you're writing. Because if you write and your writing is not appealing, people will not be interested. After getting an edition and they can't wait through, they will not buy the next edition. But if they read your stories and they see how you write in such a way that it is very attractive, very appealing, very sweet, it's like you are taking something sweet and all that, they would always want to come and buy. That's why we try as much as possible to use all sorts of headlines, intros, and everything to embellish the writing in such a way that it will become very, very, very compelling.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Shola, over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm learning a lot, and my notes are getting filled up. Sir, I quickly want to ask you about the digital age of content creation and monetization. People do not care about School of Journalism anymore. I don't know, maybe you noticed that because of the advent of social media. You just come post, write any caption, boost it, or tell people to go and like it once there's a controversy or something that is interesting about it. What do you think? What do you think the disadvantage of that is to storytelling and to the process of education, to learn the process of that story? Now, I am a visual storyteller, I'm a photographer, and sometimes we have this opinion that a picture tells 1,000 stories. But then you will get to a museum, then you will see a big board with a small dot on it, and someone will come and buy that at 500,000, and some people can't understand. But then when you read the story underneath it, you'll be like, oh wow, so this is the story of this dot I want to buy. What is the essence of what is the disadvantage of social media to journalism? Because most people are not journalistic. They'll just get content, post, and I don't know, maybe you understand what I mean.
I understand very well. I understand. Well, let me start by saying that I welcome and I embrace social media. It's the way to go. We're already in it, so you can't even say that, oh, you don't want to. It should not be encouraged. No, we should encourage it. We should embrace it. We should support it. We should be part of it. But at the same time, what we need to do is to continue to encourage the practitioners of social media to pay attention to little details, to pay attention to facts, to pay attention to all the things they need to pay attention to, so that we can actually improve what we have from where it is today and make sure that we have a very strong and vibrant social media.
Hello? Okay, so sir, may I ask, if you can turn back the hands of time, what are the advice that you will give to a younger Dr. Sheye Kehinde? What are top 3 advice or advices that you would give to a younger Dr. Seye Kehinde, let's say 20 years back?
Well, I will say that you should first and foremost determine the kind of person you are and what you want from life. I mean, those are very, very key points to ponder over. And at the same time, identify what you like doing that is not stressful to you, and see how you can turn that into business. I mean, that is basically my own story in terms of the fact that I enjoy writing, I enjoy reading about people, I enjoy all of this, and these are all the things that made me go into journalism. Because by nature, I'm somebody who likes gist. I'm somebody who likes to write. I'm somebody who likes to read. So all of these ingredients made me decide that that was the way. So I knew from my part 3 at the Obafemi Awolowo University then, where I studied history, that I was going to be a journalist. I never had that doubt. I mean, I knew from my school days that I was going to be a journalist. I was going to go, and I went into it straight. So I started journalism at a very, very early age. I didn't dilly-dally. I just knew that that was what I was called out to do, and I went into it. So for me, it was quite easy to navigate through the challenges that came my way. So that would be my advice to any young question.
Okay, so I have a question for you, and it's on the screen. And the person is saying, going online, what is your strategy of making money to foot the bills incurred, especially for wages and salary?
That's deep.
Sorry?
So there's a question here that says, going online, what is your strategy of making money to foot the bills incurred, especially for wages and salaries?
Well, the strategy is also very simple. We've kept our staff strength within limits. Then 2, we've also looked at how we can get patronage from those we read about to advertise and to patronize our platforms, because we have a lot of platforms that are very exciting, and of course we're not also rushing into it. We're taking it step by step in such a way that we will be able to fund our operations from sales and from advertising, which are the 2 major income streams for the media.
Great. I have another question from Oluwafemi, and Femi is asking, how do you identify a moment when you need to reset and re-strategize from the moment that that backing out isn't an option? What is the moment in which you set aside for retreat and re-strategizing, the moment when you know that it's not an option for you to back out?
Well, you will know that easily from your operation. There's no way you run a business or any business in Nigeria that you will not find some challenges, or you not encounter some challenges. Often the biggest challenge in any business in Nigeria is funding. Funding is the key challenge that we all face. Even if you have resources to start up and all of that, at some point you will need to get the business going in such a way that it can cover its cost. But if you also cannot cover your cost, then you have to start looking for how best to further fund the business and then to keep going. So at that point, you know that you have to keep thinking of options. I always think of so many options: option A, option B, option C, and whichever one comes my way, I go for it, basically.
Thank you very much, sir. May we know, so we young content creators, to tell you how our normal day go. It's crazy. Not to talk of you that you started more than 20 years ago. How is a day in the life of? Can you describe how a day in the life of Dr. Sheye Kehinde is? A typical day.
I always tell people that my typical day is a bit crazy because I combine so many things. I combine so many things. And I've always been like that from my school days. So it's been very, very tough. It can be very, very challenging because I move from meetings to I write stories. I'm also a reporter. I still report up till now. I edit stories. I look for money to fund the business. I do interviews. I do practically everything that I need to do. And of course, you know what that means. It means that within 24 hours, you will have to be able to do all of this and even do more. So it can be very challenging. It can be very, very stressful. But of course, that's the life of an entrepreneur. You have to keep sacrificing time, sacrificing resources to be able to get the business going.
Thank you so much, sir. What will be your? So I think this question is another question that says, what will you say has had a huge impact on your successes?
Well, one of it is reading about the stories of successful people. That excites me a lot. Maybe because of the course I did in school, which is history, political science. While I was in school, I was able to read up on a lot of personalities, personalities in history, Nigeria, personalities and one of the things that excites me is reading stories of successful people. I like to read biographies. I like to read autobiographies. I like to read management books and all that. I like to learn how people run businesses successfully. I like to also learn for those who have made mistakes, how did they make the mistakes and all of that. And of course, I learn all of that. I pick one or two things from everything I read, and of course, it helps me. And of course, I'm a voracious reader. I'm a bookworm. Let me put it that way, because up till now, my office is filled with books. So I read up, and I know that the only way is to continue to read. You cannot be abreast of what's going on if you're not reading, if you're not going online and getting updated on what's going on and all of that. So that is for me, that's the easy way through which I go about what I do.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. In case you're just joining this conversation, I want to say a big thank you for coming in here. I'm speaking with the publisher of City People magazine and also the person in charge of City People Award. His name is Dr. Sheye Kehinde. So one of the things you can help us with, so that we know that everyone connected to this platform, you are really learning. Can you just please, on the comment section, I can see Praise, I can see Akinwumi, I can see Charles, I can see Oluwafemi. So Benga, you are in there. I can see you. Simon, you are in there. So please, Bale, you are in there. We can see you. Now, what you can do for us, can you just drop one lesson you've learned, one out of the lessons you've learned from this conversation? It's over 30 minutes now. We like to spotlight everyone that we have at the back end on this platform of our platform, by which we can be sure that you can hear us clearly. Somebody is saying Passion Pinion. Thank you so much. Thank you. I have another question that says, do one have to be extroverted in order to be a journalist? Over to you, sir.
Yes, you have to be. Because a good journalist must be footloose. What I mean by footloose, you have to be constantly on the move. If you're a journalist and you stay at home, you want to sleep, you want to rest, you don't get stories. So you have to be out there all the time. You have to find things that will keep you busy. You have to attend functions. You have to attend parties. You have to roll with your friends. You have to know what's going on. You have to be inquisitive. and you have to be out there all the time.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Shola, I'm sure you have one or two questions before we allow doctor to leave. But I have lot of people saying different things. So Shola, over to you as I scroll what people are saying. Thank you, sir. That's
Okay.
from Joshua. So everyone is just thanking you, sir. Before we allow you go finally, Shola, I think you should have one or two things you want to ask.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. It means a lot to us. And any opportunity we have to learn from people that have been there and done that, it gives us hope. May I ask what your advice would be to the new generation of content creators? What have you seen that we're doing wrong? How do you think? What is your advice for new generation of content creators? Because we realize also that a lot of people are probably not. The huge percentage of people are not newspaper readers. People prefer to read on their tablets. What advice would you give the new age of content creators to monetize the content that they have? You have platforms that you can monetize because they created it long ago. What advice will you give youngsters like us that are creating content, and what advice would you give us to monetize the kind of content we are creating, despite the fact that we probably don't have advertisers on some of our platforms? What would you advise, sir?
Well, I think the easy way out is that you have to look at what is missing in society, and then you provide a solution to it. You provide an answer to it.
Sir, I think you should move closer. It's like there's a background.
And find a way
Hello,
of
can you hear me, sir?
content that will provide an answer to what.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
How you can help them get an answer to it, and of course that way you can always charge. For it, because if you know that people want something and you provide a content, or you design a content that would speak to what is missing in terms of what they want and all that, and you can provide it, definitely it will work out. I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay, before
creating content
I think I can hear background noise or a repetition of what you are saying here. So I don't know, maybe
it's clear from here.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I hope there's nobody around you playing back this event, because I can hear sound from I can hear background.
Is it
sound
okay
of
now?
what you are saying.
From my end,
perfectly okay now. No, I don't know where it's coming from, but I think we are good. I don't know where it's coming from, but I think we are good now. Okay. So I have a lot of questions coming in here.
I can't hear you again. I can't hear you.
Wow.
Mr. Shola, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Sir, can you hear me? Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Okay, so
Hello,
I think
sir?
we need to check. I think we need to check
I can't hear you.
getting this connection. Can you hear us, sir?
Can you hear us?
Okay,
Sir?
Mr. Shola, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear him.
Mr. Shola, can you hear us?
Doctor,
I can hear you
hear us?
faintly,
Oh, wow.
only faintly.
Wow. Okay, so maybe we should. Wow. So what do we do now?
Okay, so Shola, just continue. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Okay. I think I'm through with the questions that I really. Oh wow, he's not hearing us.
Okay. Okay. So, sir, maybe you should log out and log in back on the same link so that we can have you. Maybe you should log out and log in back on the same link. Can you hear us?
Okay. Sunday.
Future.
Okay. Okay, guys. So I think if you're just listening to us, we have on this conversation, Dr. Sheye Kehinde is the publisher of City People magazine. we're trying to bring him back because of his network. I think once he's back, we should be able to wrap up his session.
Round up.
Mr. Ayo Animashan is supposed to join this conversation now, so we're waiting for him to get to the back end so that we can have him. For all of things that have been discussed, I would like every one of you to please, can you just drop your comments, say something about Mr. Sheye Kehinde. You want to say thank you to him for what he's done for over 20 years in Nigeria. I'd like you to do that. Again, as you're doing that on the...
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, sir. Please, let me ask this question. What role did mentors play in your life? What role did they play in your life to get you to where you are today?
Okay, I had to when I was young, I had so many mentors. I looked up to so many people who are accomplished people who are successful, and I read up on their story, and I saw how they navigated all the challenges that came their way, and I also was able to meet with some people life. Some of those I looked up to, especially in journalism. I met so many people in those good old days. I got close to them. I tried to see how they live. I tried to see what they do. The likes of the late Delegiwa, the likes of Reyeku, and all the big players in those good old days. I mean, I looked up to them. Some of them I was lucky. I met them in the course of my career, and I studied them in such a way that I was able to look at and identify all the principles and steps they took that made them successful people. So it's very key. It's very important. Having mentors very key and very important.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So thank you so very much, sir. We have Mr. Ayo Animashan, my don at the back end. We're going to be bringing him any moment from now, and we're going to do what we did yesterday. Mr. Shola, so we're going to do this together now before we allow Uncle Sheye to leave, and then we allow my dear Edon, Mr. Ayo Animashan, to come in. Mr. Ayo, can you hear me, sir?
Mr. Animashan. Hello, Mr. Animashan. Okay, so hello, Mr. Animashan, how are you doing?
Hello, sir. Can you hear us? Okay, so let's
Mr.
go
Animashan,
on.
can you hear us? Okay.
I think we have people saying few things here, and I like to. So, guys, all you have to do now in the comment section before we allow Dr. Sheye Kehinde to leave, all you have to do now is to please ensure that on the comment section, drop information. It's time for you to say a big thank you for him coming on this platform to share from his wealth of knowledge. But I think I want to end this conversation with one simple question. Sir, what would be the 3 things you advise people, all of the people in businesses who are career professionals, what are the 3 things you will advise them to do before you go? I want to change your setting properly. Okay, so 3 things you advise every one of the people listening to you now. What are the 3 things you want to encourage people with?
Okay, the first one is that they should remain steadfast. They should not give up. They should continue to soldier on. It's difficult. It might be difficult. They should just not give up. They should continue to keep at it, and definitely, I mean, they will hit success. And of course, hard work. Hard work is key. I keep saying it. We just have to keep being hardworking, and at the same time being creative. You have to constantly re-engineer whatever brand you have or whatever content you are providing. You have to keep asking yourself, is this content still very relevant? And you have to keep adjusting. You have to keep re-engineering it and all. So that after a while, you find out that your brand and the content that you are serving will continue to remain fresh and it will not be still, and people will continue to also enjoy what you give to them.
So someone is asking a very important question. With your wealth of experience, what are you doing to pass down this wealth of experience and legacy to the upcoming content creators? I think he's already doing that. But you can
I'm doing
still
that.
share.
I mentor a lot of people. I mentor a lot of young
Yeah.
people. They come to me almost every day, and I give them ideas, and I monitor them, and I make sure that they are keeping to the advice I give, and things are getting on.
Okay, so I have another question here, and then I'm trying to bring Mr. Ayo now to be sure of his sound. He says, sir, creating content, how do you overcome competitors, or will I say, how do you proceed in the midst of competitors, your competitors?
Well, I guess I would say that I don't think you need to worry yourself about competition. What you need to do is to look at the market you are going into and see how you want to play, how you want to enter that market. There would always be competition. You shouldn't lose your own idea or give up because there will always be, even if you start, I mean, a business, or you go into a business and you make it in that area, some other people will set up the same thing and compete with you. So, but that thing is for you to keep fine tuning your own concept, keep looking at whether whether you are getting across to your clientele and your customers and all that. And once you do that, just keep strengthening what you have. In terms of competition, there would always be competition, so you cannot rule out competition totally from what you do.
Okay, so I want to say a big thank you to Dr. Seye Kehinde. People are asking that you should drop your Instagram and Twitter handle. So it's at Seye Kehinde, at Seye Kehinde. I have at City People Mag, City People Mag. I believe that it would be nice for you to follow these handles so that you can learn continually. You can send him a DM. Mr. Seye is extremely very busy. I'm aware of that. So what you can do is see how you can drop a letter or a note to his office. I'm sure that somehow, some way, is going to get across to you.
Yeah.
I want to say a big thank you for this time. If you join this conversation, I want to bring in Mr. Ayo Animashaun. I actually want to bring him in before I allow Mr. Seye to go out so that they can exchange greetings. Edmond, can you hear me, sir? Okay, you have to unmute, sir. You can unmute your mic. You can unmute your mic, sir. Your mic is mute. Okay.
Hey, my brother.
You, sir.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well.
That's nice. That's nice. I can see that. How's business? Everything?
Small. It's COVID version now.
COVID
version. Business COVID way.
Business the COVID way. That's interesting. I like that. I like that.
So guys, we're going to allow Dr. Seye Kehinde to leave, and then
thank you very much.
We will bring.
Thank you very much, Dr. Seye Kehinde. We really enjoyed the time and the knowledge that you have shared with us, and we do not take this for granted. The wealth of knowledge that you have shared will remain with us for the rest of our life, and we hope that when we reach out to you next time, you will be kind to oblige us that want to be like you in the next couple of years. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you too. Thank you for bringing me on the program.
Conversation. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome with me no other person, the man who has done so much in the entertainment industry. Thank you, Edmond. Thank you, Mr. Ayo Animashaun. So it would be nice. It would be nice for me to read a little bit about him, a bit of his profile before we have him proper. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, actually, really breaking. Is it my network? Is my network that bad? Can you hear me very well?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear
You're
you,
clear.
sir.
You
Very
look
well.
fine.
Okay. You are breaking.
Okay, but I was thinking if you can move your camera down so that it doesn't
Or
cut
up.
off the digital conversation, doesn't affect.
So if they can move my what?
Okay, so you're perfect now. Yes. No, bring it down a bit, sir. Bring it down a bit, and then we should
We
be
won't see
fine.
his head if he brings it down. Okay. I think it's better.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's better now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have our second guest for this digital conversation where we bring in personalities who are core professionals who has helped a lot of people to achieve results. Many artists that you know today is helped them
Okay.
on
Excuse
this
me, I
platform.
have people hearing you. Can I try logging on my other device?
Okay, so yes, we can. So let's take you out and then let's wait for you to change your device. You can go ahead, sir, to change your device. So guys, I think one of the things you quickly need to do now is, can you drop your social media handle? If you're online now, we'd like you to please drop your social media handle. Everyone on this conversation, why can't you please do this for us? Let's quickly spotlight your social media handle. Just keep on dropping your social media handle at this time. If you have more questions, please drop questions. I believe that Mr. Ayo Animashaun is going to answer most of the questions that Mr. Sheye was unable to answer. We're trying to look at the time also to ensure that we'll keep to another 30 minutes to tidy up this conversation with Mr. Ayo Animashaun. So if you can hear me clearly, you're on this platform, you can hear me clearly. For those of you on YouTube, especially, please can you just drop your social media handle if you have one, maybe on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. We'd like you to drop it now right away so that we can spotlight everything. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who is joining this conversation. I can see Femi at the back end. I can see Rashidat at the back end. Thank you for joining. I can see the premium. I can see Oluwaseyi. Thank you for joining this conversation. I'm trying to read through different screens to be sure that I capture as many names as I can on this platform. Thank you. Benga, thank you for joining this conversation. Simon, thank you. We can see you. Thank you for joining this conversation. And I want to say a big thank you. So let me have, I think we're good now. Perfect, sir. Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Well, if you can hear me,
Uncle, can you hear me?
I'll try to manage. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you, but you're still breaking a bit.
So it's perfect.
As long as you can hear me, I'll try.
Okay, is my voice clear enough? Can you hear? Is my voice clear enough, sir?
Your audio here is not so good, but fine. I think I can hear you.
What?
Okay, Mr.
Are
Shola,
you using Airtel?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Are you using Airtel? Me, I can hear you. I can hear you guys.
Yeah, it's the same. No, let's go on.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it would be nice for us to read a little bit profile of our dear guest. Mr. Ayo Animashaun is a Nigerian entertainment entrepreneur and television executive. He owns Hip Hop TV and is the CEO of Smooth Promotions.
Hip TV.
Hip TV. Sorry, apologies for that. He launches Hip TV first as a weekly 30-minute magazine show before becoming a full channel on DSTV and GoTV. Then he set up Hip Hop World Awards, since rebranded as the Eddies, which interestingly is the only surviving Nigerian-only music honors event. He spent the past 25 years building a media and entertainment business that puts young people and pop culture at his heart. He is a master at his craft, an experienced and skilled entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me on the digital conversation platform for the first time, Ade Uncle Mr. Ayo Animation. It's good to have you, sir. It's good to have you here, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I wanted to say, when does Uncle, I don't know when Uncle became a title, like Uncle Mr. Ayo Animation.
So in journalism, when you are doing interviews for people, you call them by name. You understand? Or probably put Mr. or Doctor. You understand? As in, I learned that online. Mr. Ayo Animation, how are you doing today, sir? Are you okay? Are you fine? Have you eaten today?
I'm very well. I'm very well today.
Okay, so
I'm
this
very,
one,
very well today.
Mr. Sampson, if I have your permission, can I go ahead with him and start interviewing him?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, so Mr. Ayo, how are you doing? What is your backstory? Can you quickly share your backstory with us? You didn't start being famous. You didn't start doing great things. You understand? What is your backstory? How did it start from you? What was your process? Where did the dream come from? So I would like for you to quickly share your backstory with us, how you hustled to be where you are today. And if you're not hustling anymore, if you're just living large, you understand? Please, we want to hear the backstory. As briefly as you can make it, we have a lot of questions for you.
My backstory. Shola, you can tell the story now. Okay.
I don't know you right now.
You know my mother. Okay.
Most people don't
actually,
know that I know you, you know.
Yeah, it's actually strange and weird having Shola on the other side asking questions, asking me, his other brother, a question. Because he's someone that can actually also tell the story. But for the purpose of people that want to hear from me directly, yes. Okay, so I'll tell you. Hip Hop World Magazine did not start as Hip Hop World Magazine, or Hip TV did not start as Hip TV. That was a journey. And the journey was, it started small. It wasn't even meant to be a TV channel or a magazine. It was just like a teenager, having fun, having passion for music, listening to music, and writing the lyrics, for his own, pleasure. And that pleasure developed to passion, and that passion developed to business. And I would just relate that. So many years ago, I was writing lyrics, for myself to. I just thought it would be cool to know the lyrics to a major song, so that when everybody's singing the chorus, we will be singing the verses, and people will keep quiet and be looking at us. We wanted to feel cool, and that was how we were doing it. I started writing lyrics since I was 13. Then when I spent some years in Kaduna, like 8 years of my life in the north, part of which I was in Kaduna. Then I was in Kaduna Polytechnic, so I luckily for me, there was when things happen, there are things that some things are just gonna fall in place. So close to my house, like a few meters, 200 meters to my house or less than, there was a record studio where they had all the new songs that came out. And there was another one like 800 meters where you could get the ones that they didn't have. So I became friends with them. We listened to all the songs, listened to radio, wrote lyrics and all that. And people knew me for that. Apart from school, I would sit down, listen to all the songs, rap, sing and all that. And at some point, I kept photocopying. Those days I kept photocopying and giving out the photocopies with my pocket money. And my friends were like, then I'll be broke. Then I'll photocopy. Then I started selling the photocopies of songs like handout. Then I thought to myself, why don't I just together like a song book for people to buy? And immediately I wanted to do that. That was the period I was reading one book, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I didn't have money. And I learned some, values and principles, you can conceive it, you can achieve it, blah, 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 and all that. So I just thought I could do it, even without money, and I still believed that I could do it. So I tried, and I was lucky to get someone that gave me 1,000 naira, which was a lot of money then, and he didn't give me, he collected everything I had, including my record cassette player and everything, to give me the 1,000 naira. After which I tried to publish, I tried to launch. The launching failed because the songbook was not ready by the day of the launching. I stayed at home, I tried. Then I had the 1,000 I gave him back. He gave me my things back, but he told me to keep the 1,000 naira. So that was just the, and I took the printed, I think 1,000 copies. I took 300 copies to the market, and it sold out. Actually, couldn't even pay for transportation to the market. I got a wheelbarrow, put it there, took it to the market. So they took the wheelbarrow, but took another one to the market, sold, and because they only gave me 300 copies, because I couldn't pay for everything, so I went to sell, brought the money back, they took more, sold, brought the money back until, and I had to reprint again. So yes, that's my backstory. Now, that songbook, and that songbook was not even then I published another songbook. Now this was like when I was 19. Then I did another one when I was 20, and for 3 years I wanted to take it to the next level, which made me come to and I body.
Wow.
Wow. I think, okay.
And
Okay, you were breaking, you went off. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said I called everyone that I knew that was publishing at that time. There was that era of Frame magazine that was all over the place and all that. Then I found myself in Lagos at Wemabod Estate meeting Kule Bakare, who invited me and all that. He encouraged me. A year later, we couldn't still publish because there was nobody to bankroll. It was a new kind of magazine, special magazine. Nobody thought it would sell. At some point, they actually believed in it, and I got 14,000 naira to do the color separation, the front cover, then from Mr. Kulibakare. Bilal Momodu then used to give us 1,000 out of his 2,000 allowance per week, give 1,000 naira then. It was a lot of money. We waited for it. It was also writing Pedro Love that writes at the back of this day now, the back of Frame magazine there.
Oh, so I think we're having issue with connection.
I guess his network keeps going in and out.
No, it's my phone.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's my phone. The lines are. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you. It would be nice if you can speak up, though.
No, I can't see myself as well. I don't know what's wrong.
Yes. So please, can you just log out and log in? I think it's the internet connection of your phone. So while you if you can log out and log back in with the same connection. Okay, so one of the things Mr. Ayo was saying, if you heard, was that the journey did not start from what a lot of people knew. It started from printing, doing photocopies of lyrics. Then at some point, he started writing the lyrics out. Then at some point, they came to Lagos. They're working with the likes of Kunle Bakare. I knew when he was working with Kunle Bakare in Wemabon Estate, and then he studied, he learned journalism, you understand, practical journalism. He had mentors like Kunle Bakare, like Dele Momodu that he calls, a lot of people that you learn from, you call them. Hello, sir, are you there? Yeah, we can see you.
Can hear you.
Fantastic, okay. Fantastic. Yeah, please, go ahead.
So they liked the idea, and then I found myself writing some pages in their magazine and all that. They thought it was good, and they saw it and they said, I started receiving a lot of letters those days. It wasn't, WhatsApp or what's it called, Instagram
or BlackBerry.
Mailed or BlackBerry, you will mail letters. So only my pages alone will have 70% or 80% of the entire all the letters coming to the magazine. I thought, this man, if they publishes this magazine, that means there's a market for it and everything. So yeah, they helped me, at least by believing in it. There wasn't so much money then. Yeah, we got papers, newsprint papers on credit. We got the cover. Also papers on credit. They were printed on credit. Unfortunately, it came out, sold out, and we could pay the debt. Then we started, continue like that, and that was our Hip Hop One magazine. started. In a few years after, we realized that a lot of people actually really, it was like a movement. All the upcoming artists, talents there, they had a voice in Hip Hop magazine. So they will come to the office, we'll speak about everything that we thought, we could change if we had the opportunity in the Nigerian entertainment industry. We were angry about so many things. We said, we were like a force. We were coming like tsunami. We had so much energy. We wanted to see change so much. And here we are. To come the long
Thank you very much.
short, like this.
So I think your story. I think your story is really, really inspiring. The first time I heard your story was when you came to Unilag years back. I don't know, maybe you can remember. We invited you for a program at Unilag, and that was the first time I heard you share your story about how you were just selling lyrics, and then from selling lyrics, you grew to having the magazine, and now today, over 25 years. Sir, what will you say? Do you think that Africans are telling their stories enough? Because we've been in this industry for over 25 years. Do you think we are really telling our stories enough?
You mean, are we telling our story?
Yes, our stories of our successes, our struggles, our hustling. Are we really telling our stories out there? Because many a times people see Nigerians with negativity. So how can we change that narrative? What can we do? Are we really telling our stories enough? Can you hear me, sir? I think it's network.
Hello, Messiah. I think it's the network. Hello, sir.
Okay. So, Mr. Shala,
just in case you're hearing us, please log out and log in back. I think it is your network. So I remember when I was living when I was in secondary school, 94, 95, 96. In my senior years in secondary school, I had already started selling Hip Hop World magazine for Mr. Ayo. I call him Megbo. He's actually a family member. You understand? I had started selling magazine for him, and what he would do was send magazines over to Ilorin. Now there was a time that that was new. I wasn't so really interested in the contents of magazine, but then he will send covers of the magazine that I'll use. One of the ways that I marketed the Hip Hop World magazine that time was that I will use the cover of the magazine to wrap my notes. So whenever I'm moving around the school with my notes, people will be like, "Oh, what is that?" You understand? Can I have a copy like that? So I started wrapping all the notes of my classmates that were willing. I started wrapping their notes with the cover of Hip Hop World magazine. Then, Mr. Ayo, I hope you can join us back so that we can ask you questions.
It's not at the back end yet. It's not at the back end yet. So just continue.
Okay. So let me try and reach out to him. Okay. So maybe he's trying to switch. Okay, good.
Okay. So like I said,
fantastic.
I think you're trying to come here. I think the problem is us. Number one, the first problem is not telling our story enough. The first problem is this generation of people, they don't want to listen to the story anyway. So they want everything fast. So we don't celebrate genuine success enough. So that's why the stories are not told, because they're not really. A lot of people don't care. They don't celebrate. So when you tell the story and people say, "So what?" You're not going to want to tell it again. I beg. Because you see, I stand for everything that is right, everything that is morally correct, and everything that is upright. See, I would not, for any reason, for any excuse, support fraud. However small or big, whatever reasons we have, I won't. Whether it's local or international, whether it's cyber or politics, I won't support that. So, but if you observe and you check some very, like, I'm trying not to mention names, so that you just not narrow down to that particular person or sort of people. If you check, you see that some of these people that are really celebrated, that some of them, the ones that should be in jail, really, that should be in jail, from how they got the money to what they did and everything. they should actually be in jail. People really don't care about genuine success stories, and everything should be fast, which is why more people want to steal. Because as long as you have money, most people don't care how you got the money. They just celebrate. And that's why a lot of stories, genuine success stories, are not being told. And people who have worked out are not really, encouraged to come out and say, okay, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. People have different ways of celebrating roads, especially in Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Mr. Samson, go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for answering that question. I want to go to the aspect of, sir, how have you been able to sustain your brand? I mean, it's not so easy. You started by just writing lyrics, and if you say you should just tell your story, I'm sure that this time is not even enough. And you have built a multinational global brand till today that everybody reckon with. So what are the steps for people coming up, or those who are already in business, those in the entertainment industry, or naturally those in business? What would be your advice? What are some certain secrets that you've learned that it should be very nice for every one of us to hear and use that in our operations to achieve more results with our brand?
Okay, number one is what you're doing doesn't have to, look good to anybody. You don't need anybody's validation. You don't need anybody to say, yeah, that's the way, that's the way, for you to go through that old door. If you believe that's the way, they will catch up with you. So you have to first believe in it. Now, tell me, if you believe in something, why would you drive it? Why would you go with it? Why would you put everything in it? Why would you look back? Why would you not sleep and wake up and dream and think about it? Because you believe in it. So self-belief is a major problem why a lot of people don't achieve their potential. Now, another thing is you have to stay on it, be focused. Distractions don't ever come as distraction. Otherwise, nobody will be distracted. They come as, okay, other opportunities, other ways of doing other things. You better quickly diversify. You've not even made that business solid. Then you want to diversify. Then that means you're leaving it and doing something else. And I'll give you an example. White Hip Hop magazine, when we're publishing Hip Hop magazine, we knew we still had some places to sell in Lagos. We still needed to improve our penetration in Lagos, in Ibadan, in Ilori, in Jos, in Port Harcourt, in Kaduna, in Abuja, and all that. And this Nigeria was our local market. But guys are already saying, this thing now has to be international. How many companies are you selling in London, in America? No. This you have to. We need to make this market explode first. Then the world will be requesting for it. You see, all the companies we sent to America was not. And UK and Ghana, Accra, 300 copies, 500 copies, and all that. But we sold thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands here, and we still needed more copies to sell here. So we want to quickly explode, but or blow, like they always say it here. But you know what? We'll leave our immediate market and we'll go somewhere else where, like a lot of shows that happen abroad, they just see pantry of people, nightclub, whatever. Meanwhile, you control an entire, what's called auditorium, of 5,000, 10,000 people here. But you don't want to go and do beer parlor and all that just because you want to do international shows and everything. It's also a problem. So the what I'm saying is the focus has to be there on the
UK tour.
Sorry?
I said UK
the
tour.
The focus has to be there 100%. Then there is the consistency. You've got to keep knocking. There's a saying that if you stay around the barber shop for so long, you're likely to get a haircut. You have to be consistent. You have to keep knocking, keep believing, keep making it work. And all that, because a lot of people just give up just before they hit the success mark. Just before somebody says, where's that guy? And by the time the guy is starting to say, where's that guy? Then you left that post already. You're doing something else. And so self-belief, consistency, hard work, know-how. If you want to do something, you've got to learn about it. You've got to know about it. You've got to be the best at it. You don't just want to say you don't just want to be a mediocre artist just because you believe you want to be an artist. Then you don't know how to sing. You've got to learn how to do it. You've got to know how to do it. You've got to be the best in your industry by developing yourself. Then stay on it. Stay with it. Stay with it. And there'll be dry days. There'll be days you sleep hungry and you wake up really even hungrier. And that hunger must be converted to hunger for success. And you know what, this thing has to work. But you know what, we a lot of us do not stay on anything for so long. Once it's getting a bit difficult, I beg. Like we want the easy way out. We want the easy way out. And for people that I've known, that I've seen succeed, you've got to stay there and stay on it. And when the going gets tough, you've got to be the tough that will get going. You've just got to get going. So and that's it for me. These are the things I applied.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Thank you. This is so awkward. This is the first time I'm on the same platform with you. I'm trying not to be too familiar. You have been creating content for long. You've been creating content for long. We've heard that content is king. The next level, when you started creating content and putting them into magazines, into books for people to write, it was written content. Now, it is now digital content. What do you think are the particular benefits of digital content? What do you think are the major difference between the digital content that you are creating now that is different from what you used to create when you are making magazines and you are selling magazines all over town, all over the country? What's the major advantage of digital content compared to the traditional content that you used to create?
Okay, one thing I found out about content or realized that number one, you've got to be original. You've got to be original.
That is hard these days.
You've got to be original. You've got to be refreshing. So there's a saying that same is lame. At some point, people are going to get bored and tired of the same old, no matter how good you think it is. So you've got to, you turn it around, you create. And, a lot of content producers, you see same of the same everywhere. I mean, you won't push it like that. The reason why we moved, I would call our channel a break from the norm. What are the normal things that you hardly see around? We've been doing the same thing. For magazine, we were writing lyrics. On television, we write lyrics. On lyrics to go write lyrics. But then you've got to be creative with some of the content and go where others won't. You have to dare. Like last week, we were at the isolation center. And
wow, to interview people.
We wanted to find out. Yes, we did. It was isolation center. We wanted to find out, what was going on, to be able to speak, to the doctors, some patients, and everything. And when I asked my guys to go, everybody took a step back. Hey, it's us like I said, you're home with your family. It's us that you go and contact coronavirus. So
because you want to create digital content for you, right?
It took a month. One excuse or the other. Until this, I said, okay, don't worry, I'll go with you. And everybody thought it was a joke. And when the guy kept sending me that, they said Friday, and when Friday came, they said Monday, Then Monday became Tuesday. And on Tuesday, I said, but you told me Monday. He said, sir, I told you Tuesday. Check your WhatsApp. The message is even there. I said, okay, don't worry. I'll meet you there. I said, we are waiting for you in the office. So I were waiting. They don't want I will meet you there. They thought I wasn't coming. And so they said they were waiting for me. So I joined them. I got there before them, and I was the one waiting for them there. And I said, you know what? Where people contact coronavirus the most is where they are not suspecting, where they don't expect to contact it. You're already going to isolation center. You know that this is this danger zone. So you know that you have to have the right PPE. Yes, you have to have the right PPE, and you're on the edge. You're watching everything and all that. But when you are all suspecting, when somebody comes and says, "No be Shola, I can't have it," or no, or no be so. If my brother cannot have it, now I cannot come. Or my colleague, is this COVID is for other people. That's where you contact it. That's where you contact it. So we went there, we prepared, and determined not to cross the lines and step on the wrong spot. And we did our interview, spoke about the people that we needed to speak with, and we left the isolation center. So and the content, I've not seen that content, the kind of content we go from our isolation center anywhere. Because I was there. And so but a lot of people will regularly not go to isolation center. I see CNN, they have go there. They go to war front. When something is happening, they go there. I don't know how many people want to go to war front. I won't go to war front. There's also what our culture, has taught us. In Yoruba, they say, "Oh, logo arindo." You understand? So
thank you very much for that.
So yeah, we try to play kind of content.
Interesting, sir. Sir, what will you say about so where do you see the future or the content industry in Nigeria in a few years from now? Where do you see the content industry?
I think this generation has done a lot. I think we are about competing with the world. I think we're at a good place, really. In Nigeria, we're at a good place. Our sports, our content, I think we're known for our content, both in music and in movies and even in the entire creative spectrum. We are very, very strong, and we're different. And we have a lot of stories to tell. We have a lot of, and content is really content. We have a lot of untapped. I was watching a movie yesterday night on Netflix, and I couldn't believe it was a Nigerian movie. Well thought out, script, very, very nice story, storyline. A lot of things, a lot of people. We put in a lot in what we do. And I think we're just the next in line, to blow. The what's called of spotlight is on us, and it can only get better. I think everywhere else they pretty much say what they've got to offer. I think we are emerging. If you ask me sincerely, I think we are emerging. I think we are the next big thing. It depends on how we approach it. How we always approach our thing. We go and sell ourselves 3 for 10 kobo. Then somebody will say, why are you paying him $100,000? I will take 15, and they'll spoil everything. But we are in a good place.
Great. Sir, how do you undo failures?
Okay.
I know many times. How do you undo failures? Because I know many times you would have failed over and over in 1 or 2 projects that you having in mind to achieve. So how do you undo moments like that when you're trying to achieve something and not getting the kind of results that you are expecting? 25 years is a lot. So many things must have happened, from staffing to infrastructure to management process to content. In fact, you must have even published some stories that would have caused a lot of trouble for you and your organization. All of those periods where you're not seeing the kind of results you are expecting, how were you able to manage and overcome all of those things?
Pressure is part of what we do. It's part of everyday life. There's a way we are designed to manage, pressure as individuals, whether home or work. For me, my personality comes to play. I'm not the calmest of people. when it comes to dealing with certain things. But in my not so calm nature, I tend to I try to look at things from the other side, and maybe not with so much smile, but with solutions to every problem. Okay, so what do we do? Okay, this is the not stay on the problem and sulk on the problem and complain about the problem and what is giving pressure. How do we move ahead? How do we move forward from here? Where do we go from here? How do we make it happen? And pressure can come from, the number one, when this whole journey started, it was the pressure of selling magazine, getting the money back, printing again. Then it moved to a bigger pressure, of getting this magazine out at the right time, getting better quality of the magazine, making sure everybody does what they're supposed to do. And here in Nigeria, unfortunately, we don't all work at the same pace, and it's not everybody that sees from where you are sitting. Not everybody that understands the dream and the drive and all that. Or they might even understand what's their business anyway, and it's not everybody that follows their deadline. And so you're going to deal with a lot of people that don't align with your vision. You're going to deal with a lot of people that don't even care about your vision. You've got to entrust certain things. You will ensure certain things to people that you shouldn't. Because they're going to come with different proposals and say we can do this, and you see what they would have done, what they did in the past. Maybe they didn't do it, something else and all that. And some too, they will start, they can do it, but they're not just delivering because they have other distractions and all that. And you have to still put everything together. It takes a lot of consistency, backup. In Nigeria, I think for anyone to succeed, you have to have not only backup, just backup to make it happen. Not only backup.
Wow.
Okay, so
multiple backups.
Goes back now. Yes, now my starter goes back now. Goes back on the road now. What do I do? Or I'm going somewhere and I leave. I'm supposed to get there. There was a day I had a meeting on the island. It was a Glow actually that had a meeting, a presentation, and I was in the car with the driver, because when I'm going for presentations, I don't like to drive. I just like to just stay and listen to music, refresh and everything. And there was this day, I don't know what happened on Terminal Bay. There was so serious traffic. And it was just that meeting that it took me like probably over a month to be able to fix that meeting. This was a long time ago, and they were still Okadas and everything. And I came down. It was raining. I came down from my car, and I took the bike on Third Mainland Bridge. We were almost getting close to the island. I didn't even know where the bike came from. All the way to Oladekoyi. All the way to Oladekoyi.
Wow.
I got in there soaked. I was still late. I was probably 7 minutes late. I got in there soaked, because it was raining. And I entered the room. I said, apologies. It was actually late raining and my car was stuck on the road. Driver joined me later. But I didn't say, hey, after all, they will understand that it's raining. My God, that was the rain. We fixed our other meeting. How can I, whatever? I got there. I did my meeting. The presentation was good. And the car came there later. I took the car back. But I was in that. I don't let anything stop me. I don't allow anything that some things that you think you can't control. You may not be able to control everything. God forbid illness, God forbid whatever. But what you can control, I try not to give excuses for what I can control. I try not to give excuses.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much
for sharing this. May I ask you, what is ravaging the world right now has never been seen at any time? During the Ebola, it was in Africa, the Great Depression over there in America and in Europe. But this pandemic hits the world all over. And there is a new normal. The new normal is not what everybody expects. You understand? I am the kind of person that wants my staff to resume at work so that I can monitor. Then the new normal hits all of us. Nobody wants to die. What lessons has the pandemic taught you as a businessman, as a parent, What major lessons has this pandemic taught you, and what do you think the new norm for businesses worldwide will be?
Okay. If I heard you clearly, you're asking the lessons that pandemic has taught me, and how you move, where do we go from here? Well, see, this pandemic shook and still shaking the world, and what I just realized is that as human beings, um, we are mentally stronger than we think we are, and we'll always find our way. We'll always make things work. And the first thing is that when this whole lockdown and pandemic started, everybody stayed at home, sat at home. Now, this would not be happening if not for pandemic. This, me talking to you via your phone and all that. So we look for different options and different ways to make things happen, to connect, to do business, and I do not think life will be the same again. There were no weddings, there were no concerts, there were no shows. People are actually looking for different ways. See, BET Health, some other awards are holding. People are looking for different ways. There's nothing that will replace human interaction because we are social beings. We're social beings, but then we are looking for ways and many ways to connect, to make things happen. Nobody is staying back now. I don't know anybody that's not doing anything. It's just that we have found new ways, and with the help of technology, we are doing things in different ways and probably much better ways, more effective ways. And thankfully, the infrastructure is getting better. Network is not 100%, but at least we can hear each other. We can see each other doing videos. People are staying at home. They're selling content. The ones that are not, some now, the cinemas are not open, but some are producing movies and they're selling to Netflix. They're selling their contents to other parties to show them. They are viewing. They are still doing what's it called, premieres. So many things are happening. It's just that the way and manner in which these things are happening, would, I don't know whether it will go back to normal. I don't know whether even when the pandemic, if it eventually, disappears, and when we are over this, I do not think everything will go back to the same old way. I think content is still going to, be done and distributed in different ways. I've seen shows, massive shows that are done in different ways, and people didn't think, people took for granted that they could actually have these things, where instead of traveling all over to another state and spending hours just to deliver your part, you can do it from where you are, and the whole world is seeing you. Instead of flying a speaker from the US to come and be part of a conference, you can have the speaker online, paying the huge ticket, hotel, accommodation, just for the guy to come and speak for 2 hours. You are there, you are showing the world, and the guy is speaking, and everybody is seeing it. These things were there. Most of this technology, we didn't just take enough advantage of a lot of these opportunities and technology. But now that's where the entire strength and direction is. And so for us as a business, we're even doing more interviews. My guys are even doing more interviews because some artists that don't want to come to the studio to come and do their interview. Some that have to go to their houses to come and do. But doing all their
everybody is home right now.
Yes, they're doing all their interviews now. We tell them they do some interviews and say they place their phones in a particular way. We send them questions. They answer the questions on video and on HD. We send the files to us. We edit. Then we put it on TV. It's still the same interview, same questions.
Yeah.
So people are still doing right now as I speak with you. They're having fit and trips. This football freestyle football competition.
Okay.
freestyle conversation, and it's going on right now.
Okay.
They have judges from all over the world that are in their houses watching, and guys are doing it wherever they are, and it's still happening. So yes, technology has helped and aided our business. The challenge is that advertising revenue has gone down. But who wants to wait for advertising revenue in the next 1 year? About 7 years ago, I had problems with, advertising revenue. In fact, what am I saying? 2009, when advertisers cut budget, that's 11 years ago, I had problems with advertising revenue. And so when these people don't advertise, I don't pay my children's school fees. Or I change my lifestyle. I don't wear the kind of clothes I wear. So when they don't advertise, so we decided a different model for the business, or another, we open another revenue stream for the business. The same business, we open another revenue stream. That okay, regardless of adverts, we're still going to be here. We're still going to do events. If it's going to cover, we invested in care. But now that one has a problem. Like nobody's having events, and advertising revenue shut down. But then there's also the content part, the streaming part, the online digital monetization part. You understand that, we've invested in over time. Everything is not, 100%, but it's a road that leads to somewhere. So just got to continue to think, and try to invent and reinvent, to meet tomorrow's demand and challenges.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I wanted to ask this question because you've so much that I noted here. So, sir, for a beginner,
Okay, I didn't hear you,
sir. Can you hear me? I said for a beginner. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me?
I still can't hear you. Can anybody hear
Can
me?
you hear me?
Shola,
Can you hear me?
I can hear Shola.
Okay.
I can hear something.
Okay.
Wow, maybe it's my network. Shall I go ahead?
Okay. So, what roles did mentor play in your life? I mean, who are the people you looked up to? Mentors, the people you looked up to. What roles did they? What are the roles they play to get you to where you are today? Were there people that you really looked up to, and because you were looking up to them, or because you learned some things from them, it helped you to get where you are, and it was able to sustain your business? Then after that, I would like to follow up with what makes you tick. But then let's have the first answer, please.
Okay.
What roles did mentor play
I'll say yes,
in your success?
I'll say yes. Because everywhere around me you find books. I try to read a lot, like this one. This one is where we find some of the Ojoros. The other one here. Another. So one thing I do is I do a lot of this one is another.
Wow.
Get some of the Ojoros. Another. So yes, I have for each subject for business, and it can be, I have like a lot of people I look up to, and some of them I don't even know them. I read about them. For family, I would say there were so many values I learned when I was growing up, and
the line is breaking.
That I saw like from my parents. So yes, I would say in that they didn't know they were mentoring me in that area, but they did.
Mr. Ayo, your line is breaking.
Sorry?
Your line is breaking, sir. Your line is breaking.
Am I still breaking?
Yeah, I think you're good now. It's better now.
You're better. Yeah, it's better now.
For journalism, yes, I would look up to a lot of people from, for different reasons, for television, for print, for interviews, and it's always good to have people that you can talk to if you know your mentor and someone that you can reach, and learn from, and someone that you can actually really, that can shape your opinion about things, hold your hands, pull you up and everything, and you'll be a good mentee and with listening ears and everything. Yeah, so mentorship is actually very, very strong. It's just that here and everywhere in the world, if what I would advise for people looking for mentors, and people who have mentors is you have to ask yourself one question: why do I want him to mentor me? Uh, so I can be, it can be me. Okay, he has good business. He's a very good comedian. I look up to him, but that's why he's mentoring you, comedian. That's all. So if it is someone and you're going to be like a father and you think this guy's an amazing father, that one that is mentoring you in comedy is probably a lousy father. So that's why he's mentoring you. So you look for another mentor. Don't say, okay, because this guy is my mentor, is the comedian, then you have to work and learn from me how he treats his wife or treats his whatever. No. So you can have like 10 different mentors and you pick different attributes from each of them. It's also always very good to have mentors, different attributes from each of them. Okay, like a fitness, like for fitness now, or this guy that is the great comedian and everything, he sits on the couch from morning till night, and even though he does his business very well, but that's not the kind of person you want to be when it comes to fitness. You want to also, or wellness, generally. So you also always probably go to the gym, eat right, and so you pick that from someone else, and you combine this, combining 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strong values of what you want yourself. It will be stronger than even just one mentor. That is, yes, but I believe mentorship is strong. What's the final question that you asked
Okay.
me? Before you're too many
what makes you think? What makes you think? I've been to a particular event before, and while people came from UK and US, and when they were making the presentation, they listed the top 3 entertainment TV in Africa. And when I saw it on like this, I saw HIP TV between 1 and 3, and I was like, oh, whoa! This was the research they made. As a HIP TV was just after MTV, not in Nigeria, in Africa. What makes you think? Your competition is thick, it's tough. With entertainment television station up, a lot of them, they'll start 1-2 years, they'll pack up, the content are not happening. What makes you think?
Okay, I'll quickly say something before I go to that one. I was at I was called I went to Silicon Valley, so I went to Building 20, Facebook. The 20 is the iconic Facebook building. So I got there and I looked up and I saw that on their roof, me, I had POP, nice done in my office and everything, But here, it was so rough. It was like a warehouse with lights and everything. I was like, with all your money, Facebook, you couldn't fix this and make it look. Why do we have to see this? And the lady taking me around said, you know what? Mark doesn't think that we should make everything done. And we should make everything look like everything is done. We're still work in progress. And the day we finish everything up like that, that means we've gotten to our destination. That's what she told me. Means, and he aligned with what I said, don't ever arrive. The minute you've arrived or you think you are there, that you've reached your limit. Then the destination is to come down. You say you've reached your peak, you say yourself you've gotten there. You have to keep the fire burning, the hunger. It has to continue to look better. Like I said, same is lame. Do not ever arrive. Do not ever just overnight. Okay, I've gotten there. Then so if you've not arrived, you can't be full of yourself. But you have a long way to go. You still have a long way to go. People think you arrive. Let them be that their opinion of you. But you know where you're going. It's like you want to build an estate of 100 houses and you have 10, and people are making noise on your behalf. That's not your destination. You have to continue to move. Success is, like I say, is a journey, not a destination. Once you get to that destination, you arrive. That is it. You are done. So you have to keep the fire and the hunger there, and you have to continue to work hard. And that's what I try to do. I don't get bored doing my job because I absolutely enjoy what I do. There's a lot of so when the challenges come, we chew it. It doesn't stop me. Life is about challenges anyway. Life is about challenges anyway. So we chew it. We'll bite the bullet. Our Jebby Chingong, we have to move on.
Okay, quickly, let me ask you this. What advice would you give to your younger self? You understand? Let's imagine that this is Ayo from the future. You understand? And if you can turn back the hand of time, and you can, some of the things you have seen happen in the future.
I can't hear your question.
Okay, so
what advice would you give to your younger self?
What advice would I give to
younger self? Your younger self.
Sorry?
What advice will you give to Ayo Animashaun when Ayo Animashaun was 70 years old or 20 years ago? What advice will you give to Ayo Animashaun 20 years ago?
I think I talked about it. Number one, believe in yourself. If I was doing something and it didn't make sense to you, you couldn't tell me it didn't make sense to you. If you are not going to support me, you will walk by. But with the kind of passion and the vision I carried, by the time I get to you and I tell you about it, even if you had a different opinion about it, you will not be able to tell me, because you see all the belief written all over me that this thing said. I mean, and I'll give you an example. When I was going to get married, I went to my parents' in-laws' house, and the mom had so much to say, but the dad had only one question. And the question was, I was looking at me in the mirror, I was like, okay. Then he now asked the question, and I said, young man, I drove my B2 there. So this is what I driving B2. I don't know how he wants to feed our daughter. So he asked me, young man, what do you do? What's your job? And I bought out the Hip Hop magazine. I said, this is the Hip Hop magazine. We sell it here. We won't do it. I said a lot. I pack it. I told him about Hip Hop magazine. He said, I don't mean your hobby. I mean your job. Your proper job. It didn't look like a job. It didn't look like a job. You thought I was going to say, I'm an accountant and so, I work with so company or whatever. No, I bought the magazine out. He said, so they now said, like, you shouldn't embarrass me and everything. I believed in myself. You couldn't tell me, this is what I do, this is what I do. You understand? And years down the line, the daughter that I didn't seem I could take care of was flying all over the world, bought brand new car, did a lot, with my hobby. You understand? So these things come in different ways, but then you have to first be confident and be comfortable with what you do. Do not, being comfortable with it is being able to discuss it anywhere with pride, with pride and be talking about it with a lot of confidence, and showing people that, what, you guys are the ones that don't know what's up. This is the big thing. This is the big thing. So that has to be there. And like I said, once that one is there, then you have to learn about it. You have to stay focused. You have to work really hard. Yes, prayer is important, but why I don't like to emphasize that is that I see a lot of young people, pray, but they won't work hard. So I would say, okay, if you want to pray, you work and worship. But yes, you have to put in a lot of hard work.
Wow. It's over 15 minutes that we've been having interaction with Mr. Ayo Animashaun. Thank you so much for your wealth of wisdom. Thank you for sharing from different angles. Lots of nuggets you have given on to us. But I have two questions from online that maybe I needed to take, and then we can wrap up this because we know we've really taken your time. The first question says, let me put on the screen. It says, being a busy person, how do you combine your role as a husband, a father, a boss, avoid scandal, and still achieve success in this industry? Because
That's deep.
many people in this industry, a lot of scandal here and there, but your role as a father is intact. I see you post pictures playing with your children. I mean, you are working as a boss. You have different parts of you. How have you been able to balance this and still be successful 25 years down the line?
Okay, first I'd like to say this. My if you want to like, if you want to lay ambush for me, it's easy. As long as you know that this guy will soon pass through this side, it's very easy. Because I always pass through. So this is my routine. When I wake up in the morning, like 6 o'clock, that's regardless of what time. I may sleep 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I still wake up 6 o'clock. First thing is that I work out. My workout routine is probably 3 hours, probably if it's on the average. I work out. So once I finish working out, I come home, take my bath. Sometimes in there, I take my bath, then go to work. Now, when kids are home and there's no school, I try to take them to school. And when I have free days, I pick them from school. When I don't, others pick them. But because it's just my work, my workout, my work and family, I have time. Because you don't get to find, once I leave work, I don't branch, I don't drink. So there's no need to branch at any beer parlor or whatever.
Club.
So I don't hang out. There's no time to hang out. When I finish work, I come, I rush home to see my kids before they sleep. Then I spend time with them. This evening, just before, after I spoke with Shola and before this session started, we rode bicycle together. Then I came back. Now, once I finish, I'm going back to them. Then in the morning, I see them. We'll pray. Spend some time. I have time. I have time for just my work, my workout, and my family. And any other thing is it occupies little, very small space. Very, very small space. I'm not available. So yes,
Thank you,
I really spend a lot of time with them. Yeah.
Thank you for being available for this conversation, though.
yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to take this as a final question. Looking at the current trend in Nigeria of today, that is being run by corrupt elites, the government, what words of guidance and encouragement do you have for upcoming content writers not to lose? The current trend in Nigeria, what is happening currently? What would be your advice for content writers for them not to lose hope?
Here's what I'm going to say. It's good to know the policies, and decisions that may affect or that affect your industry. And outside of that, there's so many mediocres, in the country now that if you do not watch it, you just let them discourage you or distract you. And at the risk of not even knowing what is happening around you, sometimes you see in these papers and you're angry. Because it's the same sad news, it's the same old story, the same bad narrative that you continue to hear from our leaders and the politicians and everyone around us. So the number one thing is, yes, for me now, because I'm in media, I know what's happening with NBC, I know what's happening with even what's it called, NCC, because we're doing a lot of digital content and everything. You know the rules, and you make yourself conversant with every rule and every regulation around your industry. Apart from that, stay focused and work on it, work at it, spend time on it, meet the best guys in your industry, let them mentor you, learn from them, also teach them what they don't know. Don't say, what, when I go to people, I speak with one or two of my friends, and they tell me, if I call you, and you tell me everything that you think I like to hear, I don't have any word of criticism or anything that is constructive, and I likely will not call you again. Because there's something I'm possible. I'm posting that there will be something I'm not either not doing right, or at least you have a question that do you think, or a concern, or do you think what about? Are you sure? Just show me something. Let me see from another angle. Then avoid psychopaths and people that just want to tell you the things that you want to hear. They're probably not so good for you. You need people that will tell you what they think, even if you do not like to hear it. It would help everybody better. Yeah.
Wow. I think we want to say big thank you. Big thank you to Mr. Ayo Animashaun. Thank you for giving us access. Thank you for sharing on this platform, Digital Conversation. Thanks to my good friend and my co-host Shola for talking to Edmond to make this happen for us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, your final words to every one of us. Final word. How do we do what we are doing to become a global brand that will be affecting more lives? What must we do? What must we avoid? What will be your parting word for every one of us here?
All right, thank you very much. Well done for this. I really like what you're doing. I hope that the people listening and watching, will learn a lot from this, not only me, also the other speakers and everything. What I will say is that do not sit back and relax. It's time to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty. Be in it, and it's not time to to relax and chill. It's time to work hard. So yes, and that's how to produce results. If you want to chill later, enjoy yourselves, cross your legs, drive a good cars, that would be enduring. Not that after a while they'll surround you with Interpol and they'll take you away from there. You need to know that you have to really work hard doing the right things, work hard building a business, work hard, helping people, and you have to be strategic at it. Know where the money is coming from, know what not to do, and just generally stay focused. So I would say thank you to you, Samson. Thank you to Shola Animashaun. I really appreciate what you're doing, and I'll say keep it up and keep encouraging some of us upcoming. That's what is to be upcoming. You have to continue to be upcoming. Because once you come up and you are not Dangote, you are no longer upcoming, and you are not Dangote.
Even Dangote is hustling. Dangote still day 5 money.
Shall I have a final word to everyone? You can drop comments now. What do you have to say? Okay, shall I over to you?
Big thank you to you. I know that you don't like doing online conversations like this, but then what can you do now? You can't turn me down. Nah. But it's a big privilege to What will you say now? You tell me that sorry, I'm busy. Even if you are busy, you are not busy for anyway. I want to say a big thank you. You do not take this lightly. It means the whole world to me now. I keep saying this. If it were only 2 people that came to watch this, and not 10,000 people, and not 15,000 people, I'm okay with that. If it was only 1 person, 2 or 3 people, to understand that learned, that picked from your brain, see my notes, full from nuggets that you have shared. And I'm going to put it on my wall. Where's my wall? Sorry, my wall is over there. I'm going to stick it on my wall so that every morning I can learn from some of the things that you have shared. You understand? I've known you. I've known you for all my life. Sorry, you have known me for all my life. and some of the positive vibes that I have, and some of the ginger that I have, that most people don't know, is from this guy in the middle. All the we can do it. It was from this guy that I tapped it from. So if you think my own is 70%, this man own is 500%. I can't catch up. You can't catch up. When I jog in the morning and I'm screen grabbing 12,000 steps, it's like, hey, Shola, what are you posting now? I just did 45,000 steps. I'm like, please, we can't compare each other. You are healthier than I am. But you are healthy. I can't kill myself now. So I want to thank you for the role that you're playing in the industry. I want to thank you for the big role that you're playing in the industry, for the things that you're pioneered. I remember more than 10 years ago, you did an event only for ladies, and it was called Girls Night Out. Was it Girls Night Out? No, Night Out was one of them. You did a competition, and the people that won what became the future of Nigeria, became the future then. The top 3 people that won was Sasha, BQI, and Asha. And I remember what the judges told Asha years back, more than 10 years back. The judges told Asha that Nigeria is not ready for your kind of music. That was big. Guess where Asha is right now? She's in Europe. The last time I worked with Asha was about 3 or 4 years ago, when she was coming from a 200 city tour. You understand? Nigeria was not ready. So you are a pioneer of a lot of things that made some people. Now, you could see ahead, and your awards are predicted people that would be leading in industry, and they are leading in the industry all over globally. You understand? So I want to say a big thank you to you for what you have done in the Nigerian entertainment industry. In the Nigerian entertainment industry, if it was not because of this man, I'll probably be an accountant right now. I remember packing my bags while I was still living with him. I got a job in an accounting firm, and I packed my bags, and I was like, oh, for Abuja right now. And he was like, what about that thing that you love? And I'm like, what thing? Because I was looking for a job all around. And he was like, what photography that you love? And I'm like, I love photography. I said, you are good at photography. I said, if I was good at photography, why did you tell me that the best picture that I have, the head was cut? And it was like, someone cannot claim it. Is that how you used to do? If I wouldn't be doing photography, I wouldn't have the kind of drive that I have. Funny enough, you're in your office right now, right? Are you in your office or are you at home?
No, I mean, my study at home.
Oh, okay.
We are on the same. Our offices are on the same road. So whenever my battery gets low, I go and recharge. Like, what is happening? Then the vibe comes back. So I want to say thank you for being the kind of person you are. I don't want to call you my brother because a lot of people don't know that I'm related to you, understand? As a brother in the industry and a brother from the same mother, I want to thank you for your influence in the industry. Then I want to thank you for being on this program. It means you told me that I'm not going online for any reason. I was like, when you finish the things that you're saying, you come. You understand? So it means a lot to me. It means a lot to Samson Olatide. And thank you very much for this opportunity. We don't. I hope that if we reach out some other time, you will not tell us no. If you tell me no, I know what I will just come and meet you. For photography, family portraiture. Then while we are doing your family portraiture, I'm like, I know how to catch you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. You made it fun for me. I really appreciate you guys. Well done. God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So
God bless you, sir.
We're ending on this note. I hope you connect, follow at Ayo Anima Sound on all platforms.
On every platform. Facebook,
Instagram, on all platforms. Yeah. And then you follow Shola Anima Sound, and then you can follow me. I'm on
Instagram
Sam Speaks Now.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Okay.
We do not take this lightly. Next month, we're going to continue the digital conversation next month, and it's going to be some powerful, intelligent leads in is it in the faculty world they call it, or what? Amazing ladies amazing ladies that you will love to learn from. We can't wait to have you. If you've learned one thing or the other from this conversation, do share with your friends, share your social media platform, and we hope that when we come your way next month is going to be awesome. Mr. Latari Samson, go ahead.
So this is going to be live. It's going to you have it permanently, this video, so you can decide to watch over again. It's very important that you get all of the lessons. We're not removing it from the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and then share this video to help as many people that are unable to join. Don't forget, August edition is going to be another wonderful one, and we're coming with something big, something extraordinary, something phenomenal. Thank you, everyone who has joined this. Who has done this conversation. It's a digital conversation, and we are signing out now. My name is Olatunde Samson, and I've got with me. See you guys. Take care. Bye.
Peace. Bye.